beat, y'all. To the beat, y'all. To the beat, y'all.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is 9 minutes past the hour on this Friday morning, fifth day of December. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told, JD Live, your early morning get up, wake up, your information, inspiration, motivation in the morning, conversation that promotes elevation. We are broadcasting live on Facebook Live, on Instagram Live, on Twitter X at the JDMS, and on YouTube at 100 BLK Media. Good morning, family. How are you doing? We finally made it to Friday. Oh my God. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is finally here. It's the beginning of the weekend, baby. Man, I am here and happy to be here. Morning to everyone else who is logging on, getting on. Whew, it has been a week. It has been a week. I call this my recovery week, the week I always recover from getting back from Thanksgiving weekend and Bayou Classic. I have been doing the Bayou Classic since 1995, since the day I showed up at Grambling State University. And of course, a lot of you know I do the Southern University Coaches Show. Congratulations to the new coach, Coach Marshall Falk. There is going to be big things going on the bluff. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Man, as we go into the weekend, a lot of folks are having holiday parties. Let me remind you, if you're going to drink, don't drive. And if you're going to drive, don't drink. Want to see you make it through this holiday season, see another holiday season, and not either be a victim of a senseless gun violence situation or somebody who is intoxicated that should not be behind the wheel, gets behind the wheel, and either is the cause of a death or you are the victim of said person not making the right choice. Do the right thing this holiday season. If you're going to drink, don't drive. And if you're going to drive, please, please, please don't drink at party. Holidays are not happy for everybody. Check on your people. Check on your people. You know, this holiday season is not happy for everybody. A lot of folks, this is not only the season of giving and receiving, but this is the season of a lot of bad news. This is the season that some folks say, you know what? This is when I decided to get divorced. This is when one of my loved ones was taken away by gun violence. This is, you know, a lot of people contemplate suicide. A lot of bad things happen. Everything that happens during the holidays is not good. Not good at all. Check on your people. check on your people. Be a courteous individual and check on your people. Check on your people. Good morning to everybody out there. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Holiday parades are getting ready to happen. And I'm just confused. Sometimes when you look at the news cycle, you ask yourself, are they really telling you what happened? Are they trying to put things in your head to make you feel like this is the way the world is? That's why I have to vet information. I just have to vet information. Because sometimes I have now really got to the point with how AI has been able to make folks who look like they're bungee jumping when they're not, and all this. You just got to vet information. You just got to say, man, maybe it happened, and if it did, bravo, but maybe it didn't. Maybe this is just some AI generated mess that they're just showing me to convince me that this is what I need to believe happened. Got to vet information. Yes. Well, good morning, family. On this Friday, I'll be honest with you, I was when I tell you I was tired, tired is not really the word. Not really the word. I was like, oh my goodness, am I going to even do the show today? Speaking about the show and doing the show, we are on the countdown. Like they count down to Christmas, like they count down to New Year's. We counting down to the last show. Next year, we will be out until June the 1st. There will be no show until June the 1st. I shall return, getting ready for the Essence Music Festival, getting ready for Las Vegas. I'll be going to Las Vegas in July also for a big soiree. And we'll be talking Essence, we'll be talking Vegas, we'll be talking, of course, getting back to football. Because before you know it, it'll be August, it'll be preseason football, and football season will be back in effect. Now that's crazy because getting ready for the college playoffs. Big ups to the Jackson State University Tigers and the Prairie View A&M Panthers as they get ready to square off tomorrow in Jackson, Mississippi at the Vet for the SWAC championship. And whoever wins between those two will play in the Celebration Bowl for the Black National Championship and the Celebration Bowl trophy against South Carolina State. Big up Coach Berry. Coach Berry doing his thing. Had the opportunity to hang with Coach Berry, know Coach Berry when he was at Southern. Good guy. Good guy. So, family, I don't know if we're going to do a full show today. I am tired. It has been a great week. Big ups to my man, Sean P., celebrating his birthday on this week. Big ups to everybody who had a birthday, an anniversary, a special day. That was Founders Day yesterday for the first Black Greek fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha. Big ups to all the alphas out there who celebrated Founders Day. Just listen, family. Like I told you, I don't know how long I'm gonna stay on this show today. I might only go to the bottom of the hour, but it is Friday. It is Friday, and I too have a lot going on today. I have a lot of my brothers and sisters who are coming into town. We have an annual Christmas event. Big ups to Grandmaster Robert Raymond, is presiding Grandmaster of the most wishful King Solomon Grand Lodge of the state of Louisiana, and his leadership, along with his grand worthy matron, as he guides the craft. He is over the Valley of the Queens Grand Chapter, and both of them together are a great tandem who are doing big things. I am so proud of how they are ushering Most Wishful King Solomon Grand Lodge into the future and building great relationships along with the Southern Connection. Big ups, Grandmaster, both Grandmasters from the great big state of Texas, Grandmaster Ware and Grandmaster Wright, one from the illustrious, most wishful Mount Tabor Grand Lodge, and one from the illustrious, most wishful ML Curry Grand Lodge, one in Houston, one in Dallas, but all together, Southern Connection is stronger together because of those three individuals, those strong grandmasters who do great things, helping uplift our people. Look at here, man. Is that who I think it is? Listen, your mental health matters. That's my brother from another mother. That's Edward Brown. I see he's in, man. Get some, man. I need it, bro. The Bayou Classic whoop me. Yo City, because he's from New Orleans. Man, Yo City did me in this year. It did me in. I didn't party, but just the back and forth, because I don't stay in the city. I go stay all the way out in Slidell. But man, the city whooped me this year, and I ain't getting no younger. And I'm finally getting a break from school. For those of you who don't know, I am in the pursuit of my PhD in criminal justice, which I will receive in August of 27. I don't have a long way to go, but guess what? It seems like it's a long way because it's when you're trying to grab something like that, it's just like anything else. It's like working out. Getting there seems like it takes some time, which it really don't. Time is undefeated. Father Time keeps on moving. Guess what? All you got to do is keep on chugga. Next thing you know, you'll be at the end. I tell a friend of mine that all the time. I let her know that don't say, woe is me. Oh my God, we got to do this for 90 days. 90 days go just like that. I can recall talking to Brother Brown about the beginning of the football season when I was leaving to go to Itabena to play Valley, which was the first game of the season for the coaches show. Now the season is over. WAC championship is here tomorrow, and Southern has a new coach. This is a season I never thought I would see at Southern University. I never thought I would see Southern University not win a home game. I never thought I'd see Southern University go 2-10. However, like they say never, because you don't know what the future holds. So learn from the past, prepare for what's next, but enjoy the moment, because the moment may be the last. All I can say. We don't roost. Woo, Lord child. Hey, Brother Brown, we don't rooster like we used to, man. You ain't lying, my friend. Listen, like I said, I'll be off from the end of this month, to be exact, from New Year's Day until the 1st of June. There will be no podcasting, to be exact. For those of you who enjoy me on social media, wherever you may enjoy me, podcasting, the inspirational quotes, all that stops at the 1st of 26. And I won't be back until June. To be exact, I don't even know what I'm going to make my last post or my last podcast say, but that's going to be it. I have business to take care of for my well-being. Once again, if anybody can proclaim it and say it, I need to say it where you can understand it. Stop putting on everybody else's face masks so they can breathe at the cost of you losing every bit of the oxygen that needs to come into your body to sustain you, to keep you alive. Many times, men, we do that. We try to make sure that everybody around us is okay at the cost of us dying, not understanding that when we die, they're going to miss us. Children will miss us. If you have a real loved one who's a real spouse, she will miss you dearly. But life will go on. Your children will continue to grow and speak about the good days they had with you. Your spouse, if she is young or if he is young, will probably, depending on when you go to glory, will probably find more companionship. And you will have built other folks' lives at the cost of you losing your own, at the cost of your health not being 100%, your mental health not being 100%, at the cost of them driving nice cars and wearing nice clothes and living in nice houses, and getting nice education where you yourself may have sacrificed not to pursue anything you wanted to pursue because you had people stow into you and promote you into this position of you had to be a super provider. They cornered you in some of our commercial religious institutions and put this in front of you and said, you can't make the mistake Adam made. Yeah, you can. You can make a worse mistake. You can F up all the way. You can mess everything up. Horatio, my brother. Hold on. Horatio, they talk that noise, but I ain't finished. I ain't finished until I'm finished. With that black and yellow until it's no more. My man. And today must be my day. Good Lord have mercy. All right, 23 minutes past the hour. Man, seeing Horatio on here, seeing folks jump on here, I might catch a second win. I don't know. But listen, back to where I was at. Take care of yourself, family. And do not, at the expense of trying to save others, lose yourself. And somebody who may have just jumped on and said, man, what's going on? What Joe's talking about? I've made it clear and I'm telling y'all again, so it doesn't catch nobody by surprise. At the first of the year, all these grand social media platforms that I run, that I am a part of, that I associate with, I have things to do. I will not be on social media from the 1st of January to the 1st of June. This podcast will not be running. If you enjoyed my personal conversation with God every morning, Monday through Friday, I normally do a Dear God, and I post either a picture of myself to remind me that, bro, you got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of physical work to do. You got a lot of mental work to do. And no matter how good you think you are, you can always be better. You got a lot of work to do, not only for the betterment of your community, but first for the betterment of yourself. You got to stop putting the cart in front of the horse. You got to stop trying to make everybody in the community love you, and you don't even love yourself. You got to love yourself first. And those who will gravitate and find you and love you and be with you and elevate you and rock with you and work with you, they'll find you. You really ain't got to go out there looking for them. Just be yourself, and what is supposed to be yours will find you. I love Lois and Earlene Anderson, the two individuals who adopted me from the orphanage that I was in. Thank God that God had a plan and a purpose for them to be my parents. Thank God that God placed me in an orphanage that there were 16 kids and I was the only boy. And since Mr. Anderson only wanted a son, when they went into the orphanage, they really didn't have a lot of choice. God will set you up into some very quirky situations. They didn't even have a choice. I want a boy. Well, there's only one boy here. Well, that's the one we gonna get. Sometimes you look back at your life and you see the setup of the Most High. And all you can do is fall to your knees in tears and in supplication and in prayer. And you got to say thank you. Because every trap, every snare, everything the enemy had set up for you, and then the provocation of stuff he put in your head, forget the stuff that he tried to do to you. Think about the times you tried to get yourself in a bind and God wouldn't let it happen. Look, I'm not a preacher. I'm not a bishop. I'm not a prophet. But I want you to just think about how many times that you know that you put yourself in some situations that should have took your life. And God said, nah, not today. I see greater. I see better. I understand. I know. No. Guess what? I know you're going to take that car full of dope from here to there. And I know that you should be caught and you should go to jail. But God said, no, just get it there. And guess what? And then the enemy tells you, and you tell yourself, oh man, I did it once, I can do it again. And then that little inkling in your spirit says, man, hey, it was grace that got you there the first time. Stop poking the bear. Stop keep eyeing the situation. Forget talking about how you done ran into janky folks who did you wrong. Think about how many times you did yourself wrong. Fifth day of December. Start asking yourself and be real with yourself and say, I done blamed a lot of folks for my own bullshit because I always wanted to be the victim. I always wanted to be, it wasn't me, but it was you. Because in life, I have discovered, and this is just me now, everybody don't see it the way I see it, and I'm not asking you to see it the way I see it. When God gave me this podcast, and trust me, there's many a times I wanted to stop doing this podcast, and I don't stop it or start it without first making sure I didn't heard from God. But God imparted something into me, and he told me, everything in life is on you. That's why I gave you my mindset to make your own decisions. See, you have the mind of God. God is a creator. You can create. You have the mind and all the tools like God has to create. So with that being said, everything that happens in your life it's always one or two things. Either you tolerated it or you did it. Either way, you were in control when it happened. 29 minutes past the hour. Good morning to my brother in Hot Atlanta. Good morning to my good illustrious brother Best in Hot Atlanta. And here's another thing you need to stop doing. You need to stop trying to make folk feel like you are what you ain't. Say that again. Stop trying to convince people something that you know that you're not. You're trying to convince them that you are. Guess what? You can achieve greatness right now. Guess what has been proven to everybody breathing on God's green earth? I can have 34 felonies. I cannot pay a bill. I can sleep with multiple women. I can go on TV and tell people, you know what? When you got money, you can grab them by the pussy. I can do all this, and I can sit in the highest elected office in this land. And the same evangelical folk who tell you, man, I don't play with the devil. They go on Sunday, devil get out of here. Devil get out of here. Oh, Sunday, let me cast the devil out. The same folks will vote and put the devil in the highest. Let me be quiet. Be quiet. All right, yeah. The coffee finally kicked in. I apologize. It is a Friday. It is a Friday. All I can say, it is a Friday. That it is. Um, mm, all I can say is a Friday. So, family, once again, it is the holiday season. The holidays is not happy for everybody. I infer and I ask, check on your people. If you don't check on your people, check on somebody. Check on some elderly person. A couple of days ago, I was driving. I saw an elderly person walking with groceries. I pulled over and I said, ma'am, can I get your groceries? Can I get you? And where do you need to go to? And I drove her to a destination. I ain't gonna tell you her name. That ain't necessary. Everything don't need to be a selfie moment. Doesn't need to be a live moment for click, like, and share, where all of a sudden you make it seem like you're a superhero. Real superheroes do what they do and don't tell nobody about it. We're not paying enough attention to the little things. to the little things. God always kind of gives you an unction to pay attention to what may be coming. That if you don't get prepared early, when the big thing, see, the little thing came, little things like the government shutdown, you not getting SNAP benefits. See, that is a prelude to something bigger coming. But many a time we don't pay attention to the pre. We don't pay attention. You can't tell me. And then you have folk, and this has been a precarious year for me. I started this year off on a high that turned into a low. I had a major physical injury. I ruptured my Achilles, complete rupture, snapped in half. Had to go through surgery and rehabilitation and asking myself, in the profession that I am, in my job, in the thing that I chose to do as a job, that I continue to go on in this job after being injured in this manner. At the age that I am 58 years old, and proud to be 58 years old. No shame in my game. My big brother, big ups to my big brother, and yesterday, him turning 70 years old. If I showed you a picture of Clint Walden, you'd be like, man, that brother can't be 70. Let me tell you something. Age ain't nothing but a number when you understand how to work the mathematics, and peace resonates in your life and good health resonates on your body because you made a choice to make it happen. I don't think Clint has eaten meat in eons. And I say it just like I said it. I can't recall that man eating meat in eons. In order to do better, you have to do better for self first. You have to do better. You have to be a good person when nobody's watching. You have to be who you say you are when nobody's watching. If not, guess what you're doing? You're putting on an act. A lot of you put on acts. Y'all put on community activist acts. Y'all put on I'm good, outstanding citizen act. Y'all put on I'm a good husband, I'm a good wife act. You put on I'm a good friend act. If those are who you really are, you are that when nobody is watching. However, nobody knows where the nose goes when the doors close. See, when the doors close and ain't nobody watching, a lot of you folks who had to buy a lot of y'all who throwing this Bible at folk, talk about you going to hell. You for 3 hours when the doors are closed, stuck on Pornhub. Oh, I'm going there. 36 minutes past the hour. And guess what? Some of the ladies, they probably right now, like they do when I get off the show, hit me in my inbox and say, oh, you really got them dudes. Some of you old cougars out there, got your husband paying bills and over there at the YN's house, letting him lay down that wood. Stop making it seem like the only dogs are males. Because let me tell you something, women cheat more than men, and there ain't nothing you could, and I don't, listen, I got 2 women that be on this podcast when they can. Like I told you, this is a bus. I do bus stops. I open doors. I let people come in. Anybody's welcome to come in. I don't give a damn, Douglas. I say what I want to say. That's why I pay the bills and I have this podcast. He said, don't say that. No, I'm saying it. That's the truth. That's my truth. Might not be yours. But truthfully, I understand a cat will poo in your yard 200 times and cover it up every time. And you walk around and pet the cat like the cat's your best friend. But a dog will pull and you'll be like, look at that piece of dog doo-doo in my yard, because dogs don't cover up they doo-doo. Never have. They own the doo-doo somewhere else. We always applaud when you are talking about someone else and you're not talking about self. Man, I ain't got a problem looking the man in the mirror saying, man, you got to get it together for yourself. That's why I'm getting off this thing. I'm getting off social media from the 1st of the year to June the 1st. I won't be around. I won't be around typing, posting. This podcast will not be going on. I have other stuff to do for me. Because too much of my life, too much of my 58 years, I done tried to make sure that wife who winded up being ex-wife was okay. Relationship that relied up being no longer a relationship was okay. Folks have been driving around in cars, nice clothes, living in nice houses. Some have, I've helped them put them through school and never once took care of me. And here's the crazy thing. Position myself with life insurance policies that if something would happen, they'd be okay. Nobody asked, are you gonna be okay? Because all of a sudden I got into a commercial building that told me the following. That's what you're supposed to do, bro. Your reward is on the other side. Oh, so I suffer this life to get a reward when I die? Anybody got the reward and came back and told us how the reward looked? Okay. I ain't saying ain't what happening. Now look, you bishops, I got 2 prophets. Don't come at me. It would not be wise. I'm trying to end this year not in a confrontation with anybody. But what you're not going to do, try to make it seem like I done lost my mind. When the truth about it is, I get it out the mud every day. I get it out the mud every day. I work. Don't see my Cash App running. Don't see me asking you to send me anything. You don't see me in here trying to talk about it is your job to bless me because I'm giving you good, wholesome instruction. No, you don't see that. I get on here and I do what the Most High tells me to do. And I don't depend on nobody on here to do anything for me, because the person who told me to do it is the person that makes sure this comes on every morning. I haven't missed a meal or a bill and haven't had to ask none of y'all for anything. And nor will I ever, because I want you to live long and prosper. I want you to have a great life. I want you to do greater than I'm doing. I want you to be better than I am. I come on here not to tell you what to think or how to think, but I tell you need to start to think. Oh, I said what I said. So listen, Pastor, y'all, and look, tell you something else that hit me yesterday. And I got to hit y'all with this. I need you to be who you say you are when ain't nobody watching. This is really serious when it comes down to friends. Because a lot of you, when you see me, you hug me, you embrace me, you say, how you doing? When 2 hours ago, you were dragging my name through the mud. Y'all got to stop that. That is the ultimate insult that you can give a man or a woman. 2 hours ago, you were sitting around talking about me like I was a dog, dragging my name through the mud and literally saying I ain't nothing but a piece of shit. But as soon as you see me, hey, my dude, what's happening, my boy? What's happening? Hey, my girl, so good to see you. 2 hours ago, because you knew I didn't know what you were saying because I wasn't around you. The level of character and the worth of who you are really is always seen when nobody is watching or you think nobody knows. Once again, some of y'all, hallelujah, praise God. Look at my Mercedes. Look at my house. Look at the clothes I wear. Some of you pastors, preachers, teachers, prophetess, y'all out there fucking everything. Y'all more caught up into sexual deviance than anybody else, but y'all good preachers and teachers. Y'all got good gifts of gab. And y'all out there sleeping with everybody. I said it. How y'all out there talking about folks when y'all take cruises and y'all get away for vacation and sabbatical and y'all go and do some of the most freakiest, craziest things while y'all gone? And then come back and have the mitigated gall to tell the people I had to go and get to my quiet place with God. And then want to look around and talk about me? And talk about me all you want to. I know who I am. I know what I've done. And will fess up to it every day of the week. What I won't do is sit around folk who will try to judge and be jury to me when they themselves have did worse things that I've done. And the only difference is mine is out there to be seen and yours is behind closed doors and nobody knows. Guess what? I work in an occupation that I have a simple philosophy, and I actually got this from one of the individuals who is well known in my occupation. One of the principles in policing and detective work is to understand the following. Everybody is guilty. And the only person I trust is God. Everybody else gets cross-examined. Because nobody can tell a perfect lie twice. Nobody can tell a perfect lie twice. Oh, there will be discrepancy. And if you look close enough, you will find the guilt. Problem is, a lot of us, you just don't want to see it in those that you love. Some of us got no good husbands, no good wives, no good brothers, no good sisters, and God forbid we have no good mothers and fathers. No good grandmothers and grandfathers. Some of our family members are straight up effed up. But because they're our blood, see, I know this. I am the product of a woman who carried me for 9 months. Thank God she carried me for 9 months. Because I'm pretty sure in that 9-month term, there was a few times that, and I need to abort this thing. This don't need to come here. But God had a greater plan. And I can say that about my mother because it's my mama. I dare you to say it. But guess what? You can think it. And if you think it and it's the truth, I have nothing wrong with it because guess what? The truth is, it is the truth. But I dare you to say it because that's my mama. And we all have been taught that. See, some of us got to be real. We got Uncle Willie and Aunt Jane. They pedophiles in our family. That's why mama tell you, you ain't going over there by yourself. Don't sit on his lap. We got sick people in our own family. And that's the problem. We got sick folk that we don't want to tell you they sick. We want to act like they all right. They just act that way. You know, they just kind of stay away. Stop that. Fifth day of December. That's why we are so immune to watching the news. Y'all don't know. The whole time I'm doing these podcasts, the news is always rolling in the background. Be it CNN, MSNBC. You know, right now, of course, in the news is the notorious naval double tap. But I tell y'all to pay attention because for those of you who don't know definitions and words, and I'm somewhat of a wordsmith, it's a thing called dogmatic. That means if it's done to one and it's okay, it can be done to others. Y'all got to pay attention to these to these, you, for whatever reason, because watch this. A lot of y'all done did a lot of illegal stuff around here. Come on. I want y'all just to understand what I'm saying. If you be very honest, I'll raise my hand. There is a lot of illegal stuff in my lifetime I have done. By the laws of the land, what I was doing was illegal. Now, regardless, now I tell everybody, I did everything under the sun that is wrong except sell dope. But then I had to think about it. Maybe I'm not telling the 100% truth there because I ain't never sold dope. But some of you have transported dope. Maybe beknownst or unbeknownst. But some of y'all done had that one partner that said, hey, where you going? Oh, I'm going here. Well, can you drive this car for me? Why? I just need you to drop it off for me. I'm going to pay you a few dollars to do it. Well, what's in the car? None of your business, and you don't never need to open up the trunk or look. Hold it. Better yet, I'm going to give you $5,000 to get this car from point A to point B. Would you do it for me? Some of y'all done did that. Now, you might not have sold dope, but you sure was a dope mule. Beknownst or unbeknownst to you. Now, just imagine you driving that car down I-10, I-20, or whatever your highway and byway is, I-95, I-65, whatever. Just doing your friend a favor and making you a few dollars because you got bills to pay. You got kids. You got a house to take care of. You trying to make sure everybody good. And this is the opportunity to get a quick lick, as they say, to get a quick lick. And you driving down I-10, and all of a sudden you hear a you're like, what's that? It's a drone that has marked your car because they have figured out that there's some dope in that car. Regardless if it's weed, cocaine, heroin, fentanyl, it's dope in that car. And they said, guess what we're going to do? We're going to blow this car up on I-10. And you're driving and it passes by again. Oh, no, you're not going to get arrested. You're not going to get taken into custody. We're not going to try to find out where you're driving the car to, who the dope going to, where the dope came from. Oh, no. You're driving on I-10 and you hear zoom. It's a predator. Google what a predator is, a predator drone. And it locks in on you. And boom, it hits the car and the car blows up. But it blows you out the car. You're still alive. You might be hurt. You might be missing an arm or a leg, but you're still alive. People live minus appendages. People live after they have been wounded and hurt in certain situations. But the predator passes by again and fires on you again. Not to destroy the dope. The dope got destroyed on the first hit. This one is to take you out. Mind you, what's happening in Venezuela can happen in the streets of America if we don't pay attention. How do I know? Glad you asked. There was a time that folks say there will never be what we saw in China, in Tiananmen Square, or in Russia. We'll never see that in America. We'll never see military vehicle or military personnel in American cities because we're America and we're MAGA for real. We always make sure that America is great. Never say never. I said I'd never see the Jaguars be 2-10. But guess what? I'm eating crow right now because I saw it. Pay attention. But every time you say never and won't, and you get lackadaisical and you allow yourself and the power that is possessed inside you to just kind of get dormant and other folks rise up. After this podcast, I think I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch one of my favorite movies. I'm going to watch The Black Knight Rises. Because Bane said some things that make me realize that even Bane who was the villain in this Batman movie, was still a tool of a person who was more villainous than him. The child of Ra's al Ghul. But by comic book people, y'all will catch that later. Y'all, listen, we just got to pay attention. 8 minutes to the top of the hour. I was tired at first, but all of a sudden, I'm something in this cup. Got something in that cup. It's coffee, y'all. It's coffee. It's coffee. But on this 5th day by myself on this Freedom and Fun Friday, and I say this on Freedom and Fun Friday, he that the Son sets free is free indeed. My man said, okay, Marcus Allen said something, I got to put it up here. He said, what's going on with Venezuela is not based on enforcement of drugs, but the takeover of oil. Whatever it is, y'all got to pay attention. And Marcus, I don't disagree with you. But here's what I do understand. Just like they can do a drone strike on a boat, they can do a drone strike on a drug dealer's car going down I-10 or I-20. And don't sit there and say, oh, they just doing that in Venezuela. It'll never happen here. Because not too very long ago, we were looking at Tiananmen Square in China and said, there'll never be tanks and military vehicles on American streets. And guess what you're watching right now? You're watching Operation Swamp Sweep go on in New Orleans. You're watching the Catahoula Crush go down right now in front of your eyes. They are in military-style clothing. Folks who work for ICE, folks who work for DHS, walking the streets of New Orleans, snatching folks out at Home Depot, Lowe's, and other institutions. They are pulling up to sites where folks are on top of the roof, replacing the roof surrounding the building. People are pulling their ladders up. This is something that's happening right now in front of you. And I remember when folks said that's would never happen. You'll never have military-style folks coming getting people out their house or pulling people out their business and putting them in the handcuffs. I remember not too very long ago, a non-melanated person said, that reminds me a great deal of what happened in World War II in Nazi Germany. The immigration crackdown. Hold it. That's what they're talking about on the news right now. I don't know how well you can see it. I don't know how, because I know I got lights and stuff. It showed the immigration crackdown in New Orleans. In New Orleans. In New Orleans. Where if you appear, and who sets the standard of what appears not to be American when this is a country of immigrants? Oh, but if you appear not to be American, because the propaganda machine has told you black and brown folks who happen to have a certain dialect are not American. Let me understand this. If you were born here, raised here, but you just happen to have, everybody here is an immigrant. The only naturalized citizens of the United States of America is the Native Americans, which the last time I checked, all this got taken away from them. My man is right now in New Orleans. In New Orleans. Reporting live from New Orleans. Okay. DHS, dozens arrested during New Orleans immigration operation. I'm in the great state of Louisiana. This is going on right now. But some of y'all said, oh, this would never happen. Go back and read. Oh, my God, I know my boy ain't in here right now, Sean P., but you need to read. Man, you go to New Orleans right now, the hospitality business, which is really the backbone of New Orleans. Restaurants, hotels. You barely can find anybody anywhere. Folks scared to leave out their house. Everybody got somebody on their roof right now trying to fix their roof, especially in Louisiana. And somebody had the mitigated gall yesterday to tell me, oh, they only do it in New Orleans. All right, pay attention. Baton Rouge, they coming. Lafayette, they coming. Shreveport, they coming. Monroe, they coming. Marcus said the following. Absolutely. We as African Americans must take conscious notes to all that is going on. He called the Somalians in Minnesota, everything except the N-word. He showed in. And here's the crazy thing. He only saying what folk who look like him and have his same ideology want to say, but they won't say it in your face because they know it's going to be a fight. And guess what? Most Kens and Karens can't fight you physically. They know. Just like the Egyptians with the Jews. No, let me rephrase that because it wasn't the Jews. Let's stop. Like the Egyptians with the Israelites. Stop. Because I just right there made a statement that was completely incorrect. Once again, your words matter and you need to make sure you say it correctly. Like the Egyptians with the Israelites. Sometimes you got to sit there and you got to make an assessment that there's more of them than it is of us. And they've been lifting these big stones and they've been working out every day under the bondage of slavery. They've become strong. And that strength has been passed on through DNA and through reprocreation to one another. That they coming out stronger than us, and there's more of them than us. We got to be careful. One minute to the top of the hour. Time for me to get up out of here. I was trying to get up out of here earlier. I was tired. But now I've got a second win. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in. It is Freedom and Fun Friday. Marcus, man, I might stay a little bit longer just because of the conversation that you're dropping. To be exact, Marcus, I know you're typing. You must be in court. Let me do. Marcus said, and the Somalians actually endorsed him. Yeah. A lot of you, and let me go back to my evangelical folks. A lot of you who want to talk about, all right, they lying. I can't stand these liars. But you voted for Trump. I can't stand these guys who sleep with all these different women and father all these different children. But you voted for Trump. I see there? God love the truth. I got stuff falling off. Good, let it fall. I can't stand these people who do all this, make bills and don't pay their bills. But you voted for Trump. So let me understand. And then you walk around, and not only do you vote for Trump, you vote for other folk. Some of you are products of the public school system, but y'all support people who never put their kids through public school, though themselves have never went through public school. But you want them to be the people who represent you. Some of you have mayors, parish presidents, people who have never lived the life you live, but they have convinced you that you and them have something in common. And what you have in common is you now they nigga. And they good with you. And because they good with you, they let you do whatever you need to do while they doing their thing while they in office, because you have now rallied those Negroes who vote to be behind them and had not vetted them in any shape, form, or fashion. The only three things that they promised to anybody, they promised to you. They didn't promise it to the Black community. So you say, so-and-so is a good man. So-and-so is a good woman. Yeah, they good because they have promised you a great deal. I know folks who were making no money who started making $80,000 and $90,000 because politically they stood behind the right person. How do I know? I made a political move. Without consulting with the Black leadership of the city that I live in, I decided to take a job as the chief of minority affairs, not to be the HNIC, not to be the one to say I'm the king of the Negroes, but to help the minorities in the parish that I live in. But because I did not sit around the right Black folks and ask their permission, I was ostracized. I was wrote off. I was talked about. People were angry at me because I took it from a guy named Josh Guillory, who was a Republican. Well, the last time I checked, who was the Democratic candidate here who's been mayor president? I'll wait. Because right now there's a Republican sitting in office right now. Are y'all mad at the people that she got in place? Because she Republican. She answers to the Republican Party. She is a part of the Republican Party. She sits at Republican conventions and listens to Republican ideology. Okay. Marcus put on here, is that what happens to black pastors during political season? Marcus, I don't know. Ask the black pastor. See, I'm going to stop speaking for folks, and then they try to jump on me and say, oh, Joe angry, he mad, you know, Joe lie all the time. Yeah, y'all lying too. And I look you dead in the face and tell you you're lying. Now test me now. I'll be like Lennox and Belly, test me now. I got to die one day anyway, but I promise you this, I'm going to die at peace and die looking some of y'all dead in the eye saying, I dare your ass to villainize me with some of the bullshit you've been doing behind closed doors. I told you, nobody knows where the nose goes when the doors close. And let me get up out of here. What I was getting ready to do, Marcus, I wanted to hear your voice, man, but I was getting ready to call you. To be exact, I still might do it just to see what you answer. You might be in court, and I don't want to disturb you because Marcus is one of those brothers like myself. He out there getting it. He getting it on a lot of levels, and I got to respect him in his levels of getting it. Because we got to get it, baby. We got to get it. I tell folks, we got to get it. Be exact, I'm going to do it. Might as well. It's a Friday. Ain't got no other choice. Either he'll pick up or he won't. Because I love to hear his conversation. Marcus is a hell of a. There we go. Let's see what Marcus pick up. Do I have Marcus in? Hold on. Yes. Let's see what Marcus pick up. Maybe he will.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Brother Marcus Allen. I'm going to stop you from texting and writing. You're doing a great job, man. I just want to have a little dialect for you. I might do a little overtime. It's 5 minutes after. Listen, man, you put some things in here that is deep, and I just wanted to hear your voice on it. You know, man, we got to pay attention. Yeah, right. We got a president calling black and brown folks that look just like you and I, everything but the N-word. To be exact, right. In a political way, he is calling them the N-word.
You're right. Joe, you know, this is a period in time where we have to be very cognizant of what's going on around us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's scary because many of us, I'm 59. I was born 1966, and I know that you're in that same age.
Yeah. You're older than me. Big brother by a year.
I'm October 16th, man.
Okay.
I tell you. So, you know, it's interesting though, as old as we are is also as young as we are, Joe,
right.
Because we're the first generation of hip hop music.
Mm-hmm.
You better know that Curtis Blow,
mm-hmm.
Sugar Hill Gang, and all that stuff came out in the early 80s.
Beat Street.
You're talking
Beat
81.
Street. Right. Early 80s, late 70s, Beat Street. Right. All that.
And the significance of that is that the music wasn't just the music, it became a culture. And it became something that
a movement.
It became a movement. And the crazy part about it is it's still a movement. When Tupac said thug life, we knew what that was. Pants hanging off, tattoos all over the body. And it has not stopped. When they thought rap was going to die, rap did not die.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is, and I use that because at 58 and 59 years old, Joe, my parents wasn't talking the same thing that me and you talking.
Oh no!
My parents would not have known. My parents would not have known who Lil Wayne was and Lil Yachty and what's going over in Memphis, Tennessee with Young Dolph. I bet you we do.
Right.
You and I know what's going on.
Right.
Our parents were part of a baby boomer.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe, here we are sitting in between the baby boomers and the young X generation.
Right.
I know everything that's going on.
Right.
And so right now, what we're watching is history repeating itself. That's the
Mhm.
point that I really wanted to make. Joe, this is looking so much like what our parents went through when you got ICE agents running the streets with masks on their face. That looks like the Ku Klux Klan.
Yes,
Man.
sir.
When you're watching, I guess we're watching stuff come from the White House, and nobody is really governing this and managing this. We're watching the Supreme Court make rulings that are going to historically change the way America is operating. And here we are as Blacks in America, Joe. Who helps us? Who will be there to help us? I don't know.
Marcus, I just saw a stat. There has been 20 plus airstrikes from drones on these alleged drug smugglers. There has been 87 plus individuals who died. Now, I got to say this. Y'all ain't got to like me. Y'all ain't got to be my friend. If you don't like watching the show, tune the F off. How you think them 87 plus people who are now gone to Glory's family feel? Who are now
Absolutely.
Who are now either brotherless, fatherless, maybe motherless. I don't know. There might have been some women on some of them boats. But now there is a loved one who has been ushered to glory by a missile, not by a gun, not by a 9mm, not by an AR, but by a missile that has the United States military might behind it. Like I told you, just imagine, and Marcus, I say this all the time because I know folk who done did it. Let me raise my hand. Hey, bruh, what you doing this weekend? None. Hey, can you drive this Impala for me to Houston and drop it off? How am I getting back home? Oh, bro, I'm gonna pay you enough money to rent a car or grab a flight, whatever. How much you paying? Oh man, I give you $5 now and $5 when you get back. 500? Nah, 5,000. What in the car? Don't ask me that question. Just drive it.
Yeah. And the fact of the matter is,
okay, you driving down I-10, minding your little business, playing your little tunes, saying, man, I just got to get this car to where he said get it to. All of a sudden, a predator flies by you and drops a bomb on you. You don't get tried by the system. You don't get pulled over. You don't get, hey, we're going to walk the dog around the car. Sir, you got the right to remain silent. No, you get a missile dropped on you that blows the car up and you in it.
Yeah.
I just want y'all to think about that. Go ahead, Marcus.
But you know, the problem that comes with the analogy that you're making, though, is when the person got in the car under the auspices, you involved, Joe. You know that one of the things that it takes is a mens rea and an actus rea.
Right.
So mens rea is the guilty mind.
Right.
You already knew when you got in that damn car.
Something wasn't right. Something wasn't right. I might not know what it is, right, but something ain't right.
Something ain't right. So now, when you got in that car, you hopped in the game, and when what comes in that is a part of the game, and that's the problem with it. You know.
Hey, Marcus, let me ring the bell for you. Let me give you some horns because I'm gonna tell you why. I want every woman who's walking around there right now dating a drug dealer that she don't know is really a drug dealer. So she say,
it's part of the game.
Come on.
The game.
You knew who you were dating. Hold up. You ain't seen this man go one day to a job and he pulling up, giving you Beamers, moving you in the houses, buying your nightclubs, but you ain't seen this man one day.
And he ain't out at home at night, Joe.
Right. Hold on. But see, once again, and then you the first one that when they bust into the house, you the first one to say, I didn't know what he was doing. You know, I love that thing. Girl, please.
Joe, let me tell you, you just touched on something. And if they don't think that the feds have that figured out, I'm sorry, because I'm going to tell you right now, the feds, the first one they're going to go at is the female.
Man, let me tell y'all something.
Especially a female, and let me tell you what they're going to threaten her with. We're gonna separate you from your kids.
Come on, hold on.
Oh.
Let me hit y'all with something. For all of y'all out there who really rock with me, without me all of a sudden having to stand somewhere and somebody say, bro, you said a little bit too much. We're going to have to hold on because I know exactly what I can and can't do on this podcast. Let me say this to all you highly intelligent, smart folks out there. There ain't a money laundering scheme going on in the United States of America that they don't know about. So let me tell you something. If you're walking around thinking you're getting away with something, there ain't a money laundering scheme going on that they don't know about. And I'll leave it just to so y'all can walk around because y'all supposedly connected to some non-melanated folks. Tell you what, non-melanated folks connect themselves to folks like us for some time. They need somebody that when the bag gets that when everything starts falling, they need y'all better start watching Power and understand there is some truth to that. They need fall folks, and most of the fall folks and most of the folks who wind up in the cemetery is us. We're expendable to them. You know, somebody, and I'm not going, let me just, Marcus, without saying any names, somebody of high Black intelligence called me and was like, why do you not do events at this Black venue? And I told a person, everything that looks Black, talks Black, acts Black, may only be Black managed and not Black owned.
I got you.
And so that person said, no, that's Black owned. I said, Google who owns it. Google who's the director and Google who's the trustees. And then call me back and say that to me again. Oh, no. This person argued me. I said, well, look, I'm all about put your money where your mouth is. It is Christmas. And I've made a couple of bets that have been lucrative bets. And I got a little house money to spend. I got a little money to put on it that if you Google it, because I know who the director is. The director's Black. I know who the board of trustees are. Some are Black, some are not. And I know that this is a government entity that owns this establishment. So it's really not Black owned. It's a government entity established that is Black managed and portrayed to those who don't do the research that it's a Black establishment. No, it's not. That person put a little money on it, and I happily got my money yesterday. And the person said, I never knew that. And guess what I told them? That's our problem. We out here looking like buffoons because we out here bragging about what is ours and it ain't even ours.
Yeah.
We got to stop that. Look, and I'm the biggest liar in Lafayette. Really? Okay. Guess what? I'm not going to name no. Hold it. There's actually 2 places like that around here. And everybody go here. It's us. No, it ain't. It's us up front. It's them in the back getting all the money. It's Lucky Luciati. Hold it. Don't go watch the movie. Read the book. Lucky Luciati was big with that in New York. Lucky Luciati was in more nightclubs and establishments in Harlem and more prostitution in Harlem and in New York City with Black and brown folks than any other white gangster because he put the white might behind the Black look and got rich.
Yeah. Joe, you know, there's if anybody knows, even when you're talking about Lucky Luciano and those type of games, what do you think happens with the garbage? You go up to New York and try to pick up garbage in the trash industry. You better not mess with garbage. There's money in a lot of different things. Homelessness, there's money in that.
There's
you. Money in trash pickup.
Hold it. There is money in all of a sudden you figuring out that there is dilapidated housing in urban cores and centers that needs revitalization. And guess what? Because some folks can't show their face in Black and brown communities and be the ones who get the houses, to reform the houses. Let me tell you something. Just because you see Black faces in Black places don't mean that it's Black owned or Black people behind it. Some of these Black faces are nothing but Stephen, who got sent to you to make sure that Monsieur Candy can expand Candyland. You think you sold it to a Black person just because a Black person came to your door and knocked on your door and said, we're here to try to save your house. They saving your house for Monsieur Candy. not for themselves. They work for Monsieur Candy. Prime example. Right now on social media, one of the hottest black men on social media is this old brother who's picking up pieces of meat and it's falling off the bone, and he's going, it's tenderism. He don't even own the restaurant of the establishment that he's picking up the pieces of meat, and the meat is falling off the bone. It's not even owned by a black man. Let that sizzle in your spirit for a minute. Marcus, I know you got things to do. It's a Friday.
Yeah, I have court this morning. It was good talking to you.
Thank you for picking up.
And Joe, let me say this. I don't know. I picked up, probably came in, tuned in late, and I heard that you're saying that you're gonna terminate your podcast.
Yeah. I'll be gone from the 1st of this year until the 1st of June. As you know, Marcus, and I think I told you, I am pursuing my PhD in criminal justice.
Absolutely.
And I need this time to ensure that when August of 27 come, I can graduate and be hooded. So I have to stop taking care of everybody else and make sure that Joe's straight. And guess what? I try to infer that to other black men. I think too many of us are killing ourselves trying to make sure everybody else got a smile on their face. And make sure you straight.
I understand.
And I'll be back. I'll be back. And guess what? Those who stick and stay, they'll stick and stay. Those who don't, won't. And guess what? Some will go, some will stay, some will wait till I come back. Guess what? That's a part of life.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah,
I mean, good luck to you. So I'll leave that alone.
Yes,
I understand priorities.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, brother.
Yes, sir.
Listen, have a great day at court. Thank you for answering my call. It's always great talking to you. With that, do you have any closing words? Let me do like I do everybody, man, that you jumped on the bus. Do you have any closing words to the people?
Well, only thing that I can say is just for us to...
And let me let y'all know who this is. Keep talking, Marcus. I got to show people who you are.
I just want the people to be cognizant. Keep your eyes open and your head on a swivel, and be a 360-degree thinker, because everything is happening so fast. The kids are growing up so fast, and it's unfortunate right now that our kids are being killed before God ever intended them to die.
Mm-hmm.
You have to let that resonate with you, that parents are attending our children's funeral versus our children attending our funeral. And that's a scary thing. That is very scary. So we just have to, we just have to be cognizant and be prayerful. And whoever you worship, just worship and pray for your brother, man. Let's just live in grace. That's all I can say, in peace.
Thank you, Marcus.
Have a good day.
There he is on the screen. If you need an attorney, if you need an attorney, he had to go to court. He hung up. But if you need an attorney, check this guy out on social media. It is Marcus Allen. Hold on. I want to make sure I give it to you correctly. It is Marcus Allen on social media. There it is. Marcus Allen on social media. If you need an attorney, there's his information. And I'm not talking about if you just need an attorney and you're in Louisiana. If you need an attorney in entertainment, he does a lot in the entertainment business. So there's his information. I'm glad he picked up the phone. He's a good friend of mine, Marcus Allen. Much love to him. Let's give him some horns and a round of applause and some bells. Always great talking to Marcus. All right, family. Now for me to get up out of here. Listen, it is 21 minutes past the hour. For somebody who was halfway asleep at the beginning of the show, look like I'm awake now. All right. Time for me to get up out of here. Big ups to all my brothers and all my sisters that are coming into town for our second annual Christmas soiree. Big ups to Grandmaster Robert Raymond. Let me put that up here. I need to. So folks keep telling me, what are you talking about? Somebody said, what are you saying? Okay. Let me just put it up there. Listen, and it ain't too late. It definitely ain't too late. Listen, tomorrow night we are having our Christmas social. It's not just going to be people of the Masonic Order. Everyone is invited. We have a lot of folks coming from Texas, Illinois, from Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, California. There are people coming from everywhere to be a part of this. It will be at the DoubleTree. It will be from 8 to 1. It's going to be a event to remember. It is formal, semi-formal, but come and have a good time. Come and cut a rug. And guess what? We're gonna make it work for you, even if you didn't get a ticket. Watch this. But big ups to Grandmaster Robert Raymond for his vision for this Grand Lodge of the most wishful King Solomon Grand Lodge of the state of Louisiana, a part of the Stronger Together coalition with two very powerful Grand Lodges from the great state of Texas, which is ML Curry and the Mount Tabor Grand Lodge. ML Curry in Dallas, Mount Tabor in Houston. We are all a part of the Universal Grand Lodge under the leadership of our Universal Grand Master, Wayne Burns, who was the successor of the late great, and I would be remiss if I didn't say his name, past Universal Grandmaster Andre Story, who went to glory and is probably right now smiling from heaven, saying, continue to build, continue to learn, continue to grow. He had a simple philosophy. And I'm going to go ahead and just go full screen and get ready to get out on that philosophy. That people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I care. I care. A lot of people are going to playoffs right now. There are folks at the postseason or at the postseason of football. For those of you who are in the SWAC championship is tomorrow in Jackson, Mississippi. A lot of folks expect me to be there, but once again, I got a lot of self-care I'm doing. And normally I'm on a sideline with Southern University. Southern's not in it, but that doesn't mean I don't do work for other entities, other organizations. I won't be at the SWAC championship, but big ups to the Prairie View Panthers, Prairie View A&M Panthers, and big ups to the Jackson State Tigers. It's going to be a game, y'all. And I believe it's going to be airing on ESPN. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Right now, they have the DC pipe bomb suspect, Brian Cole Jr., to appear in court this afternoon. And once again, pay attention. Pay attention. All right, family. I'm getting ready to get up out of here. Get up out of here. It is 25 minutes past the hour. I have went 30 minutes overtime. Thank you to counselor, attorney Marcus Allen for taking my call, coming in. When you speak of the Jackson State Tigers, who everybody knows who Jackson State is now, Deion Sanders did for Jackson State what the late, great, legendary Coach Eddie Robinson did for Grambling State. He put them on the map. Right now, there's only two HBCUs that you can mention that most folks know, and that is Grambling and that is Jackson State. You might can throw Howard in there. Folks know Howard. And let me say this. I believe that there's going to be a resurgence amongst folks who don't think about black colleges of Southern University because of one Marshall Faulk. I believe he will bring the attention because he sit underneath Deion at Colorado and he understands how the operations and the business of college football operate. So that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that at a later time. Time for me to get up out of here. So with that being said, let me do what I always do. Be better today than you were yesterday. And do something today to bless somebody somewhere that no matter what you do, there's no earthly way they could ever pay you back. Always remember that there is no secret what God can do, what he has done for others. Willing he can do for you, for when God is nothing or no one, including yourself, can stand again. Have a great weekend. Be blessed. We'll see you Monday. If the Lord say the same, we up out of here. Remember, if you drink this weekend, don't drive. And if you drive, don't drink. Want to see you back here on Monday. Be blessed. Have a good one. We up out of here. Peace.